away from the debt exchange program. Let's go to Parliament now. In any civilized democracy, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta will be gone months ago. Strong words from the NPP MP for Subin as he and his colleagues return to their resistance move to have the embattled minister removed from office. And enraged Eugene Boakye Antwi told Joy News they will hold President Akufo-Addo to his promise to remove the minister after the budget and IMF talks. Tomorrow, the appropriation bill will be passed, and the NPP MPs say the president must live to his part of the deal. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Boakye Antwi has more.
Leg of the NPP MP's deal with the president is to allow the minister see through the IMF talks. The MPs are now waiting for President Akufo-Addo to keep his part of the bargain.
The minister had that we have a finance minister who came to this house and met us the caucus and said, look, you know what? I won't do IMF. I will not do IMF. Well, I think it's very degrading for a country like ours. But I have two revenue streams. Help me make it a reality that will not make us go to IMF.
And you fought tooth and nail to give him that?
Yes, you were here. Look at how we fought for him to pass the e-levy. Bill is now an act. These are major policy failures that in any civilized democracy, Ken Ofori-Atta will not stand on his feet. Why are we entertaining such nonsense? Excuse my French. Why are we? What have we got against him as a person?
Since 80 of these NPP MPs took this unprecedented step, some of them have said their seats in parliament have been threatened. Eugene Boakye Antwi says they are not bothered by such threats. Tamale North MP Alasan Suhini says President Akufo-Addo will go after those MPs individually.
I believe that many of them will suffer the consequences, especially during their primaries. Because one, the President Akufo-Addo has shown since he became president, and even before that, when he was leader of the NPP, that he's an unforgiving person. And so you go against him and he fights you to the floor. And so they are going to contend with their, open aggression.
The Subin MP did not mince words. He and his colleagues are well aware of the threat, but are unfazed.
Nobody made me an MP. Akufo-Addo did not make me an MP. You understand? God made me an MP. I was elected as Akufo-Addo was elected. So nobody should dare threaten anybody. When you veer into that realm, you even muddy the waters the more. So they shouldn't bring these threats and what have you. If you want to come and sit me, come to Subin and sit me. Nobody made me an MPO. The good people of Subin made me an MP. I contested a primary like Akufo-Addo contested a primary to become president. The fact that you have taken this position doesn't mean that it's directly directed at President Akufo-Addo. No. We are talking about the supreme interest of the NPP. And no individual, quote me, is bigger than this party. Nobody. Including me, including Akufo-Addo, including all the MPs. We are serving the tradition, the NPP tradition. We don't have to agree all the time. Otherwise, we'll be seen as robots. There are certain times we will go our separate ways. The decision we have taken as MPs is to ensure that who I have served loyally and faithfully.
What our sources within the NPP tell us is that what Eugene Boakye Antwi has been telling us represents the general feeling within the NPP majority caucus here in Parliament that was championed by the minority in Parliament. But politically, he is still being hounded by members of his own party who are after him to leave the finance ministry. It's up to the president and Parliament. Reporting for Joy News, Boakye Antwi, Parliament House, Accra.
Let's go to Zoom now and speak to Dr. Kwame Asante, political scientist at the University of Ghana. Doc, thank you so much for joining us here on Joy News Prime. And so, first of all, many Ghanaians were not happy, expressed their disappointment with the MPs who eventually agreed with the president to hold on with their demand for the finance minister to be removed from office until the IMF deal is reached and the budget passed. In fact, many more were disappointed when they failed to join the minority in that censure motion. Here we are hearing today Eugene Boakye Antwi say they will be demanding that the president actually honors his part of the bargain. Is this an attempt to restore credibility, and should we trust them again?
Oh, my brother, I think I don't trust them one bit. Today, they have a different story to tell us. The next day, there's another story about the same issue. For me, it's nothing but indecision. There is a problem. I mean, indecision on their part. They don't know what to do. And for me, if you look at it critically, they are not even interested in removing anybody. It's just only to throw that into our eyes that it's not true. Because why am I saying that? You threatened. You said you have spoken with the president. He should give you time. You are still within the time. And you are still, threatening the president and the leaders of the party that you will shuffle. I'm asking, where is their source of power to remove a minister themselves? Parliament couldn't even remove the minister. So what are they talking about? I am calling their bluff. They can't do anything. Nobody can threaten the president.
But to be fair, Doc, there was an agreement with the president that once we have passed the appropriation for 2023, and once we have a deal with the IMF, the president will then honor his part of the bargain to remove Ofori-Atta. Tomorrow, appropriation will be passed. We have a staff level agreement with the IMF, even though we actually have not signed off the deal. Hearing them speak today should be a sign that indeed they are men of their words, and that we must give them some credit.
They are not. They are not. Because, look, you spoke with the president, and the president said, wait till everything is finished with the IMF and all that. Have we concluded that discussion? And now you are threatening the president. I don't think they can threaten the president. No. The president will decide to remove somebody or not, even though I know that there is a cost to that. If he doesn't do well, he's not going to get the ministers who will perform. Already the president has said that his ministers are performing very well. And if that, better performance is what we are seeing, let's wait, give ourselves time. The reality will dawn on us. But for the group, I don't trust them. I don't trust their word on this call. They are only throwing that into our eyes. They don't mean it. They can't remove anybody. Even if Parliament couldn't even remove the minister. So what are they talking about? Article 82.5 is waiting for them if they want to go on that route. When the NDC gave them an opportunity to join, why did they chicken out? Now that they want to tell us they are serious about it, and they should be made to know that they are suffering credibility problems. If they continue on this tangent, nobody will take them seriously for anything.
Now we're also hearing that some of them are being threatened that their seats, they're actually going to lose their seats. There's a whole orchestration to have them lose their seat at the primaries come 2024. Could this be perhaps the card that the presidency is playing in order to get them into submission?
But if you take a decision and at a point in time you're checking out, what do you expect? All right, a decision such as this, even if nobody is going to punish them, their constituents are going to punish them for failing to do their bidding. Let us remember that they told us that they are doing this thing as a way of what? Representing, as part of the representation of the interests of their constituents. Why are they checking out? And that they don't seem to take a very firm decision on this matter. So any attack at them is self-inflicted, But what I want to say,
yes,
what I want to say is that, you see, if you are running a government and ministers are not performing, and you want to deceive yourself into believing that they are performing, the reality will dawn on us, because at the end of the day, you need the performance to stand on to campaign for the next election. And where will be the evidence? So it's a little advice for the government and all the group who are interested in making sure that their party is able to live up to expectation.
Right.
But quite apart from that, I can say without fear of contradiction that what the group is calling for, threatening the president and all that, they themselves cannot reshuffle anybody. What is their source of power? I mean, it's the president who appoints and is the one who can disappoint. All that they are doing, the threat is a veiled threat. It will not do anything. I don't even believe it, that they have something to offer us in this regard. So they better keep quiet and then we'll move on. We don't trust them.
Doc, I'm sure this has just started because our preparation will indeed be passed tomorrow and we'll see how this pans out and we can have a much broader conversation on this. I'm grateful for your time. That's Dr. Asa Asante, a political scientist, a senior lecturer at the University of Ghana.